Hey guys, Camper 15 back at it with another video for you guys, joined by my Uncle Darrell. This is surprisingly enough the very first Chicago Bears recap we're doing together because I was solo the first 3 weeks, but the Bears get a W. I'm happy. I don't have to not watch football for the rest of the day like I did last week because I was so upset with the Bears. It didn't look good early in that first half, but they turned it around and they played better. And they got a W. That's all you take. You beat a team that you should beat. Um, that's all I can say. Caleb Williams, I thought was fine. He didn't do nothing. That cost the team. The run game finally got started. Defense, they played all right. They played all right. Torrey Taylor was great. I don't think without those two deep punts at the end of the game, who knows? Because we know in previous years, where it was Pat O'Donnell or I forgot the other guy we had last year. Um, they would only punt it to maybe like the 30-yard line instead of pinning the team deep. I think those two punts were really critical in pinning the Rams back deep because that first play on that first down for on the defensive side of the ball, it was just an absolute stop right there, and that set basically the tone. Obviously we'll talk about some of the issues that we had in this game morally in the first half, but overall, a win's a win. I'll take it. It's still, for me, fire Matt Eberflus and fire Shane Waldron.
Well, first of all, I just want to. This was not what you said should have been an easy win because
I didn't think it was going to be an easy win. I'm just
Sean
saying it should have looked
McVay.
better than what
I
it
was gonna
looked
say
like today.
Sean McVay is probably one of no, not probably. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL,
Top five in
and
offensive coaches in the league.
and I mean, it seems like regardless of the players he seems to put on the field, they're going to be competitive. Which in this game they were. The Bears didn't get off to a great start offensively. Shane Waldron, he called some really questionable plays to start the game, man. Had me still got me scratching my head, but, you know, defense, you know, held the Rams to a lot of field goals early on. And again, just like I say before, and I've said it hundreds of times, three ways to win in football: run the ball, stop the run. Quarterback don't make any mistakes. And for the most part, the Bears did three of those things. Kyron Williams was really effective in the running game. The offensive line really dominated the line of scrimmage in a lot of phases. I still was wondering on one fourth down play. The Bears, they had eight in the box to stop a run, which was clearly going up the middle.
Yeah.
But the four behind the line of scrimmage, they were like 5 yards deep. And I'm like, what are you all doing? He's going to run right up the middle. And guess what they did? They ran right
Right
up
up
the
the
middle.
middle.
Ran right up the middle. So, that had me scratching my head with a lot of sets the Bears ran on defense. But I think they won the game from pressuring Matt Stafford in crucial situations to allow him to make some crucial mistakes. Now, granted, that last play of the game,
We got
uh,
off. We got off one.
we got off on two. That PI call, which led to our touchdown, from where I sat, that was not pass interference
Yeah.
on Tre'Davious White. That was not pass interference. It wasn't even a catchable ball from where I sat.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, we got lucky, you know, but we still did the things to do to win the football game.
Yo,
DJ,
sorry to
DJ
interrupt.
Moore, I was say DJ Moore was fantastic, and Caleb Williams did not did he treated the ball with reverence and did not throw it away. He did not give it up. Kudos.
Yeah. I also another factor too is the Rams missed a field goal early on in the game strictly because the guy couldn't get the laces out, and then he clearly the next field goal kick he made, he clearly made the adjustment. Um,
Correct.
So obviously those factors, if any of those factors came into play, who knows? The Bears probably do lose that game because of the field goal. But regardless, we'll take a win.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Those two missed calls.
mhm.
Um, and also, yeah, the kicker missing a field goal. In the long scheme of things at that time, it wasn't really it was a factor. I wouldn't want to say it was a game changing
Yeah,
factor, but we won the game. I mean, so what can we say? We did run the ball finally.
yeah.
And the offensive line, yes, they were bad. And we were texting back and forth and we were just, kind of, mulling over it. I thought they fought to make sure that these guys were not coming near Caleb Williams. Not granted, they came near him a lot, but
Oh yeah.
Braxton Jones
Braxton Jones
fought
getting pushed,
hard.
having Jared Verse push him all the way back into Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but he made Jared Verse earn every inch to get to that. It wasn't easy for Jared Verse to get to Caleb Williams. So Fisk was the problem on the line of scrimmage. Pryor was pretty good, and even Nate Davis.
Yeah, he only had that one holding
He
call, even though
had
that was the
one
wrong.
holding call, but they called it on Shelton.
Yeah, but that
They
was on
called it
day.
on Shelton, but it was on Davis. So, but other than that, I think this is probably the best thing for Davis. Bring him off the bench when you need him,
It's
because
it's
Pryor is playing very well.
it's clear he got benched. It's clear he
Oh
got.
yeah, oh yeah, of course, of course. But
Um,
why did he get benched? Did he get benched because he was supposed to get benched, or did he get benched because the Chicago medium got so far up Eberflus's behind that they're forcing him to actually do something? I think it's the latter myself. Just like this week, he was under a lot of pressure to make sure that the Bears were prepared, and just like he did last year when he came up under all this pressure, Eberflus should get fired. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you see all the news articles. All of a sudden, that now the Bears they they react and they answer the call. So
I'll say to an extent, the offense
to
still.
an extent, yes, to an extent. So let's see. Um, we play Carolina next week, and it's a different Carolina
Yeah,
because we got a ex-Bear quarterback coming into the building
yeah,
next week.
and it's another team that you want to stop the run and try to force Andy Dalton to beat you, really, because Chuba Hubbard, I have him on my fantasy team. He got 100 rushing yards and one TD. He's a pretty good
Okay.
running back.
Did they win today?
No, they lost. What is it? Cincinnati, I just saw it, just kicked a field goal to go up by 10. They're gonna lose.
Yeah.
But I still, even though, don't take it serious. Take that game seriously. Don't think it's the Bryce Young Panthers or what we saw last year. And even in that game,
Correct.
last year was pretty damn close because it was another horrible played game.
Correct. And keep in mind, you got another experienced quarterback coming in.
Yeah.
So
Um.
we can't just automatically think that just because the worst team who we believe is the worst team in the league coming into Chicago,
Yeah.
that it's going to be a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, Caleb Williams, I thought he played fine. I thought he played fine. He still needs to get these deep shots hits. I know he kind of somewhat missed Rome, and then at the end of the first half, he overshot DJ Moore. And I know Mark Sanchez made the mention like, oh, DJ Moore kind of slowed down. It's kind of a bit of both. He needs to put it on the money, and then DJ Moore also needs to not slow down. And at that point, I'm like,
Well, I don't think he slowed down.
you thought it was
Honestly,
just inaccurate.
I
And
thought it was just an inaccurate
I
pass,
thought that too.
yeah,
I'm like, just put it on him.
and DJ saw it and was just like, okay, oh well. And then he did it again, basically on the same type of route.
Yeah, he threw like it was gonna be an out route, and then DJ cut in. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
we
it's
get it. You're
like
trying to force DJ Moore and Caleb Williams to score the first touchdown. Make it just, how can I say this? Make it natural. Make it natural. Like we saw, like the next play or two later, that's a natural play.
yes, yeah, the
It
touchdown
felt like
play.
they were trying to force it there.
Yeah, the touchdown play, and I get it. They want them two to have some type of continuity together.
Well, the Jets missed a field goal. They'll lose to the Denver Broncos 10-9. Greg Zerloin.
Greg the leg, huh?
So there's that.
Oh boy.
I gotta see.
Well,
Did he miss a
at
shot?
least I had the Jets defense in, so hey, at least I did something well there.
I don't need to see if he missed it short. Oh no, he hooked it wide right.
Yeah. Well,
Yep. But
but they're trying to have Moore and Williams have some type of continuity. That's why they had that little clip of them in the game, kind of talking to each other. DJ Moore didn't look interested, so they're still going to sit up here and try to. Um, he's still going to try to force it, which is what he did on a couple of throws.
yeah,
So, but all in all, for me, the main thing is they got DeAndre Swift going, and they got him going early, and they got him going often.
yeah,
So, and he benefited, and he took full advantage of the play calls from Shane Waldron today.
yeah. Um, Obviously, you have to thank the line for blocking. There were still some instances I thought DeAndre Swift was doing a little bit too much dancing instead of just hitting the hole and going. We did see more Roshan Johnson, Morley in third and short situations, which that's much appreciated. I would still like to be, if it was like 2nd and 9 or something, I'd still would like to see Roshan get carries. Shockingly enough, Herbert didn't get no carries at all. So
I don't know. I think they're shopping him.
that's my best guess. Is that they're clearly shopping them.
They're clearly shopping him, wanting to be healthy.
Um,
But they do have a slew of running backs.
yeah,
So that's probably another reason why they're shopping them. I think they're just going to wait until there's a taker. Maybe a team has a glaring injury in
mm,
which they need a running back, and the Bears obviously have some. So, and they could just be giving him some type of rest,
yeah.
you know.
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it too, but for me, they're clearly shopping.
Yeah. I hope if they do trade him, that doesn't mean Velus Jones comes off the inactive list because for a third straight week, he's inactive. I'm just gonna get this off the way. This is gonna be a minute point. If you're gonna label him as inactive, why is he still on the team? I remember from Hard Knocks, Ryan Poles said, "Oh well, there was offers on the table to trade Velus Jones. It's just that's not the compensation that we would have never had to trade him for. Then why is he inactive? Oh wait, he fumbled the ball in week 1, and since then he's been inactive. Why is he still on this roster? Again, I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe he gets back to being active when Herbert probably gets shopped. That I don't support because honestly, if you ask me, why? He hasn't done anything, he hasn't shown me anything to help this team.
And maybe they're shopping him too. They're just not getting what they want.
Well, at that point, that's just I don't know what Ryan Poole is thinking he wants for him. A third round pick, a second round pick?
Oh, you're not getting that for Valens.
Like this dude's trade like stock is in the gutter. Nobody
Yeah,
wants somebody after
you
they see all the tape of somebody that's like, okay, he has the talent, but the problem is he gets in his own way. He fumbles the ball too many times to put him back in kickoff. He hasn't shown anything from a receiver standpoint. And really, logistically, that's what we said this back when you got drafted. He's a gadget guy. That's
yeah,
all he is.
yeah.
And
It
there's not
still
much stuff.
burns me. It still burns me that Pickens is on Pittsburgh.
We could have honestly, we could have drafted an offensive lineman with that pick too.
It still burns me that Pickens is with Pittsburgh. He should have been with Chicago, but at the same time,
Well,
you know,
he'd probably be throwing attitude issues if that was the case.
yeah, I gotta admit, he probably would have been.
So he would
He
have
would
been
have.
He would have been Chase Claypool before we got Chase Claypool.
But he would have played with Justin Fields earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um, yeah, Caleb
but
played fine. I'll take it. I did not like one drive. I thought the one drive, they just kept him glued to the pocket. And he was just standing there holding on the ball, holding on. I'm like, dude, get rid of the ball or run. please.
Well, unfortunately, the focus of the Rams was to keep him in the
Mhm.
pocket.
Yep.
So, I mean, they did really well and with the inside rush and the rush from the edges to try to hold him inside the pocket. They didn't want to get him out.
Yep.
Now, one of the main plays, which happened, I believe, in the fourth quarter, is where Jared Verse did make a really good rush on on the outside. He
Mhm.
had Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams did escape, ran to his right, and made a nice pass to Cole Kmet for a first down.
Yep.
So, I mean, but all in all, their whole focus was to try to keep him in the pocket. And for the most part, especially in the second half, they did that.
Yep. So that's the thing. We also there's more on the Waldron thing, but I'll get into that. But we did see Caleb Williams do some more read options. I think
Yep.
I think that's nice to see because obviously teams are not going to. Now maybe you start to see next week Carolina's going to be like, all right, maybe don't crash down hard on the end to try to stop the rush. At least see what Caleb's going to do. Um, so hopefully, I'm not saying we need to see more of that, but do it every now and then when a team doesn't expect it. Like even in the last drive before we ended up punting up and got getting the interception, I was personally thinking either run the ball just to run some clock, or you just run play action pass. I was still fine with the read option, and Caleb even tried to fight for some extra yards to get the first down, but it is what it is.
Well, he
Keenan
got
Allen was
Jerry Burst a couple times with that read
oh
option.
yeah.
He
Uh
got him a couple times, but the first time, no one expected him to do
yeah,
it anyway.
yeah,
And the second time, I got to admit, was he held his ground a little bit better, Jared Verse, I mean,
yeah,
and Caleb still got around him for about 5 yards in a slide.
yeah,
But that last time he did it late in the game, they were prepared for it.
yeah,
And I think he only got a yard maybe, but he took some hits too because he tried to dive for a first down.
yeah.
So
What is I'm trying to think. Keenan Allen's back. He was fine. Nothing no diff. He was fine. Nice
he made
little
some good.
he made some good plays.
He made some good blocks. So he really, I mean, he didn't get that 9, 10 reception game or anything like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, he played total team football. He made some good blocks. Made a really good block for DJ Moore late in the game.
yeah,
Had a good block for DeAndre Swift on on a on a screen. So I mean, just overall, they got to win.
yeah.
We got an opportunity to get another one next week against, a team that's playing better.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
we'll see.
Uh, and then last thing about the offense, Tevin Jenkins, he got injured and he didn't return due to rib injuries.
Yeah.
Again, I'm already convinced they're not going to re-sign him because one, too injury prone, and then by far this has been his worst season as a Bear, just blocking. Like he's regressed beyond belief.
Well, I mean, the Bears' biggest problem is
The coaching,
leadership. It's leadership. Yes, it's leadership. So I fully believe that if we had, let's just say,
Kevin O'Connell.
the coaches, the Pittsburgh staff, the Minnesota staff, then yeah, I think with the players that we have, we would be a darn good football team. I mean, we're good. I think we're good, but unfortunately, the leadership on this team it lacks severely.
Yeah, the players had to call the coaches to have a leadership meeting with them this week.
Yeah, I heard that too. And when the players call a meeting with the coaches, and that means they got a lot of things they want to get off their chest. So, uh,
Yeah.
so we'll see. And I think they probably did because Eberflus. I mean, again, we've seen it. We've seen it for the past 2 seasons now. That when he hears the rumblings, he coaches better. But my thing is, why can't you just coach better anyway?
Yeah. Why do you need all this chaos happening?
Correct.
Why do you
Why do
need
you
to
need?
make all these boneheaded decisions like challenging plays that no have no business being challenged, blowing
Why,
timeouts?
Right.
randomly. This week he didn't blow timeouts randomly. Oh, this time he actually used timeouts smartly. On the 2 minute drive to get down and score the touchdown, he actually used his timeouts smartly.
Like a head coach should.
So I don't know if maybe upper management had to come down to his office and the coach's office and be like, "Hey, you need to freaking get it together now."
Yeah.
Which it feels like either Ryan Poles or Kevin Warren must have went down to their office and get out the way and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, focus. Otherwise, you guys are going to be fired." And see,
Yeah.
this is my only issue. It's fine that we got the win. That's good.
Good.
Up top, that should not change any thinking. I still look, and we'll get to the defense. I still look at what Shane Waldron did in that first half, and that stuff was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Third down on the first drive. All right, fine. You want to run a nice little out route screen? Cool. Why we have Cole Kmet being the one to do it? I like Cole Kmet. He a little slow. I'm sorry. But you got Roma Dunze blocking Quentin Lake, UCLA alum. I like Quentin Lake. UCLA sucks now, but I don't care. You have Roma
He
Dunze.
got a sack too.
You had Roma Dunze blocking the safety, and of course, like any other Bears wide receiver, when I try to see them blocking a corner and safety, they just get blown up on a screenplay.
Well,
Why
I
can't that
mean,
be?
the Rams did the same with Montez Sweat. They had a tight end and a wide receiver eventually trying to block him. And guess what he did?
Blew
Exactly
up.
what's expected. He blew both of them jokers up and ran straight to Matt Stafford.
Again, this is my problem with offensive coordinators, are these offensive play callers in these leagues. They're really smart individuals, but sometimes they get a little bit too overconfident, think they can outsmart people. But
Correct.
anyways,
And I
uh,
did see the Bears. Oh, it was one play. I mean, they had a running back and Cole Kmet in the backfield, shotgun. So I'm like, okay,
yep.
they're going to be in there to block. All right. DeAndre Swift, or was it Roshan Johnson? I believe it was Roshan Johnson.
Mhm.
Roshan Johnson did his part and helped with um, the defensive end of the Rams.
Yep.
Cole Kmet, on the other hand, saw Jared Verse coming into Braxton Jones, and he just left. Just like, what's the use?
Yeah.
What is the use? So, I think a lot of work still has to be done. But I think in the end, when it's all said and done, Bears need leadership.
Yeah. Um,
I'm I'm just so over I'm so over Eberflus.
oh,
Is
they still have more false start penalties, free
oh
snap
yeah.
penalties,
Yeah. I think what do they have a total of nine or 10
something
total?
like that. The most egregious one was when Cole Kmet's motioning over
Yep.
and he just stutters and stops and almost falls over. And I'm like, dude. And at that
He
point, that's another
assumed he assumed the ball was
was
gonna
gonna
be
be
snapped
snapped. And I'm like,
instead of just stopping.
and the funny thing, the next play they do that, but they do it with Rome. Rome stops completely, and then ball snap. And I'm like, one, also two, that was another critical third down. I'm like, Waldron, just run the ball, get under center and run the damn ball. There's
Yeah.
no need to do all this motion stuff. Tell command to get up on the line and do that. Another thing, Darnell Wright doing because the new illegal formation thing where all the offensive linemen got to basically match it with the center. Darnell Wright then he wasn't lined up. That was a huge gain that we
Well,
got.
well, that's true. That's true. But at the same time, though, I gotta admit, you have to put yourself in a position on the line because the Rams were lining up wide.
Yeah.
97. He lined up basically where the slot corner was. And you have to be able to put yourself in a position so you can catch that guy. So I understand why Wright was lined up very wide. Because on that side, I can tell you, yeah, that defensive end, he lined up so wide that I mean, you had to line up some kind of way to be able to, to block the guy, even if he comes. So, but it was only just the one time.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with him getting a penalty.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times the refs don't even call it.
Mhm.
But because I will tell you, if Jared Verse was over there, man, he would have blew Darnell right up.
Yeah.
I mean, thank goodness for Braxton Jones, Jack, because
I
if
still
it
don't
was
think he's that good though. They
who's
do need
that?
a left. I still don't think Braxton Jones is that good. They need a left tackle.
I mean, I gotta admit, I don't think he is either, but he fought and he fought hard.
I'll give him
And
that.
he 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 manned up against Jared Verse every play. And he didn't win some, but there were some he did win. So I'll give Braxton Jones his flowers for this week. Because you know I think he played better than what was expected, considering who was in front of him.
Yeah, yeah, Waldron still is not knowing what he's doing. That first half, honest to God, was unbearable to watch, and it's just so embarrassing that the one touchdown drive where they go down the field, that was probably the best. It was a combination of pass and run, and then mostly Caleb was just checking it down, not doing anything too dangerous. I'm just done with the screens. Enough with the screens, please.
Well, they were in man coverage the entire game. And most times when you're in man coverage, I mean, they weren't in the zone. Otherwise, it would have been easier for him to, find cats across the middle of the field like Cole Kmet. But they were in man coverage the majority of the game, and they had players covered, So he had no choice but to check down and wait until players get free and things of that nature. And keep in mind, he is just a rookie. Shane Waldron is still learning this cat. Yes, the play calling is bad, but my only hope is that as he gets to know these players, because it's his first year there too. As he gets to know these players, the play calling should improve. I
It should.
hope.
I
I
should.
hope. Yeah.
Um, Trying to think anything else before I get over to defense. No, I think that's it. I had something on my mind, then I forgot it. But
Nah, I'm sorry.
um, Waldron's got to be better. Still,
Yeah.
Eberflus, he didn't do much of anything to cost the game. He still needs to get these players be disciplined on these pre-snap penalties and stupid stuff like that. That's still a reflection of the head coach.
Yeah.
Defense.
First
I
of
didn't
all,
think they.
on the defense, let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Well, you have a defensive coordinator. Why is Eberflus calling the defensive sets?
because he's the head man in charge, and I guess he doesn't feel confident with Eric Washington play calling because the
Then,
last
then
time he get played,
why have a defensive coordinator then?
I
That's
don't.
the part that gets me. I'm like, if you're gonna call the defensive plays, then why have this guy?
I guess it's the same thing you can say if you have an offensive-minded head coach where you know he's calling the plays. What's the point of having an OC?
Good question.
It took Eberflus a while to realize I think I might need to go to just your standard base defense, not the nickel defense, because clearly when they were in the nickel defense, all the Rams were doing is either running the ball and then doing play action pass, and it would just be across the middle of the field, and it's like, dog, just go to a base defense. They changed to the base defense. They stunted it, the play action stuff a bit. They clearly stopped the run a lot better too.
Yeah. Well, for me, I thought they played too much zone. A
Yeah.
player like Tutu Atwell, getting the opportunities he got over the middle of the defense, for me was crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was wide open. All he had to do was just, all he had to do was just slant behind the linebackers.
They're just
And I
doing
mean, the
it's
cat is
felt like
like 160 pounds and he's going across the
middle of
middle.
the field.
And he's
No,
around
wide
no
open.
one. He
Wide
is
open.
around no one.
It was him or I think number 17 or something like that. I don't know. It was another wide receiver that was killing.
88, he got a lot of looks, but But it was late in the game. I'm like, dude, why is Tutu Atwell over the middle of the field all by himself?
Yeah,
He plays too much zone.
that's his problem. The
He
Bears didn't
plays
get
too.
enough pressure on Matthew Stafford, and with a quarterback like him, you want to get as much pressure and make things speed up for him a bit, even though he's very experienced and he knows what he's doing. You want to make
Yeah,
sure you force him to bad decisions, like they did, like at the end of the game. They just started along. All right, we're just bringing it right now, and you're gonna make a
yeah,
mistake. And
yeah,
by bringing the pressure, it affected the throw,
yeah.
interception. Obviously, penalty didn't stay good, but regardless.
I
So,
didn't think he. I didn't think he hit him helmet to
oh
helmet.
yeah, I know.
Dave, I don't. I mean, he went high,
Yeah,
but I don't think he was helmet to helmet. So I think that could have been the reason why they didn't call it. But all the Bears wanted to do, especially in those third down situations, was speed up Stafford's clock,
yeah,
and a couple of times it worked.
yeah.
So um, Brisker should well. The first interception, that was an absolutely good call. When I first saw it, I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's coming back," because he
Yeah,
came out of bounds to come get it. I
yeah.
saw that, but at the same time, though, um, you kept seeing that Stafford rarely was passing the football to the right side of the field.
Yeah.
He was always going to the left side of the field,
Which was
and
Stevenson.
he did it consistently. So the Bears seem to have seen that too. So defense got lucky, and we get away with a win.
Yeah. Anybody more? Well, you can't get no more experience than Matthew Stafford, to be honest. But
Correct. And I got to admit, and I'm pretty sure you were, although I was going to text you at 24-18 after that bomb of a punt. I'm just like, oh, hell, here we go.
oh yeah,
Matt Stafford.
I was
So
like, this dude's gonna drive it all the way because we watch Bears football and we know sometimes we get all the way pinned deep. Somehow, some way, the quarterbacks drive all the way down the field, gets a touchdown.
yeah, yeah. And this guy is different.
See, and I was thinking, see, when we stopped him the first time, I'm like, okay, okay, just get the first down. Now the second time when he ended up throwing the interception on the very first play, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna go all down the
Yeah,
field.
he's gonna go all the way. Yeah, he's gonna figure out a way because Eberflus is gonna play zone,
Yeah, he's
and
gonna
he's
play that
gonna leave the
stupid
middle
zone
wide
prevent
open.
defense.
Yeah,
And luckily enough, on the first down, he just called a straight blitz.
yeah. He called a straight blitz. I think he sent maybe. I think he sent six,
Yeah,
and he faked. I think he faked Brisker, and then Brisker jumped back into coverage.
yeah.
So, but he did the same thing he did for the most part of the game. He always went to that left side of
Wait,
the field.
zone, and of course,
Yeah.
playing the zone defense, no pressure with your front four getting home. Andrew Billings wasn't as effective this week. Sweat,
Well,
he did make
Dexter was
that's
effective.
yeah,
Sweat was okay.
he was all right.
But Hartenstein, he pretty much controlled, Sweat the majority of the game. Um, Taylor, he was pretty much ineffective.
That's the
Uh,
last play. Yeah.
yeah, he was pretty much ineffective because the Bears never really put Stafford in third and long situations so that we can use Taylor.
Yep.
So but that was just one of them in which, yeah, we knew that he was going to do nothing but pass the football. So yeah, you put your best pass rushers in. So Booker was pretty good today.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was pretty good today. Dexter he made a couple of huge plays. Um, but for the most part, I think that the problems for me stem with the
The play calling of the defense.
leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in that zone defense, and you got two of the best cover corners. I mean, you got the best cover corner in the game, and you're not manning up with their third and fourth string wide receivers.
Yeah.
They're coming with backups, man.
Yeah.
They're coming with backups, and we are not playing a man defense. Even the tight end was
Yeah.
a backup.
I don't even know who that is because Hibby's on IR.
Yeah, they're coming with backups. I
Thank
mean,
goodness Puka and
and
Cooper Cup did.
he's playing zone.
Yeah, like as a Cooper or Puka Nakua is playing. If it was Zion, if they were playing, I understand to an extent.
But I mean, Puka was playing. Yeah, put Johnson on him and say, Johnson, don't leave him. But I'm like, man, you got Tutu Atwell and two other wide receivers and
They'll
I'm
be
sitting
there.
over like, dude,
Patrick Mahomes just threw a terrible interception.
don't
Oh,
worry,
wait, the Chargers run with the ball. What?
the
Oh
Chargers,
my God.
the Chargers are gonna
Oh,
lose that.
Chargers recovered it. They're up 7-0 right now.
Chargers are gonna lose that game. Trust me. The officials are gonna do something in that game to
Oh,
give the Kansas City
Rasheed
Chiefs.
Rice hurt. Well, nobody gonna have no sympathy for Rasheed Rice. Who cares about him?
Anybody gonna have any sympathy for the Chiefs?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that pass interference call against Atlanta should have been called.
The one on Mooney at the end of the game?
That was obvious. And man, that was obvious. It was an obvious pass interference call, and they didn't call it.
Oh, oh.
The Falcons should have won that game.
They did win.
I mean, against the Chiefs.
I was too pissed last week to watch that game.
Yeah, that was a obvious PI. And the referee looked dead at it and didn't say a thing. So you saying the Falcons hit a field goal to win the game?
Yeah, they will beat the Saints.
Yeah. Now, I was watching up until you sent me um the invite. So
As we're getting out of here, Bears win. I still think coaching is the main problem. I hope, I swear, and these are the little victories that the Bears get where it's like it convinces the front office maybe we should keep them. No, no, please,
yeah,
please get rid of them.
I don't see them, anyone getting fired in season. You know,
Yeah,
that's unprecedented even for a Bears team.
yeah.
But at the end of the season, I got to admit, this coach he had a hell of a lot of time to make this team into, you know,
They're still
a,
the
a
fourth best
playoff
team. They're
a
still the
playoff
fourth best.
team. Yeah,
Right
he
now,
had
my
a
rankings of the NFC North, the way I see it: Vikings number one, Detroit number two, Green Bay three, just strictly because of Jordan Love's injury. We're four. We're still dead last.
yeah, and even and after the day, it's clear Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota Vikings.
I guess
I have Jordan Addison in my fantasy league, and I didn't even play him because I didn't think he was going to do anything.
last thing. Apparently, Tom Brady on the broadcast said that he would have he would have almost chose the Bears. Hindsight is 2020. It would have been good for the short term, but the
Chose the
long.
Bears to do what exactly?
I know.
To do what? Play?
Yeah, play with the Bears.
Oh
He said
yeah,
that on the broadcast. Hey, but
he,
hindsight's
he,
2020. If he
he would have
doesn't,
been a nice offensive coordinator because that's basically what Aaron Rodgers is in New York.
yeah, it would have been good for the short term. Long
Yeah,
term, we would have never
really.
had Caleb Williams nor Justin Fields.
No.
So, whatever. Anyways, the Bears win. We'll take it. We'll be back. Actually, I can do Monday. Monday, we'll give our NFL predictions. And then there won't be no game recap next week because I'm gonna be out in Atlanta and I'm gonna probably be flying back um to California. So maybe the
Okay.
following Tuesday will probably be a Bears recap. So
And I'll be that's Carolina.
yeah,
The next
Carolina.
week after that, I'll be in London for the Jags and Bears.
Mhm.
So hopefully they don't let me down there. But
I don't count on it. Anyway.
now that's a fireable offense. Losing when I'm in the stadium.
All right, guys. Catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys. Peace.